This is Marloomz Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to make Frankenstein on your loom, and it's a single loom design set up in the straight configuration. For today you're going to need green bands, and you can use Rainbow Loom's jelly, you can use neon, any shade of green that you would like, and you're also going to need black bands and the color of the eye, and I chose a small, this one is an E bead, and this one is just a little bit larger than that. For today I'm going to use a pony bead that's even larger than this size. And if you don't have a pony bead, you can use a black band wrapped around your hook, and I'll show you when we get to that part. For the bolts, I use metallic. These are like bubble bands, and I picked these up at AC Moore a long time ago. And they do break easily, but they do make good bolts because they're not being pulled on. And if you don't have these type of bands, then you can use silver or gray bands, and I will show you when we get to that part as well. So gather black bands, green bands, if you have beads, beads for the eye, the bolts, and also for the purse. If you're doing the bracelet today, then you don't need extra beads, but if you're doing the purse, you're going to need 9 large pony beads, and then you can make the little handle and yours can turn into a little purse. So depending on which one you're choosing, you would choose to gather more green for the bracelet or beads for the purse. So gather your supplies, and then when we return I will begin to show you what to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 white bands, and I'm going to take the white band and thread it through that bead. And my bead is large enough that my band slides right through it. If you have a bead that's tiny, you can use a piece of dental floss, and I will show you because I have a small bead right here. And you can grab the bead. Actually, no, you grab the rubber band first, then the bead, and you place a dental floss through that bead, and then, that makes no sense. So it should look like this. You should have the bead and the floss, and the bead should be in the front. Then take the tip of your floss and you're going to place it back through the bead and then pull. And that is how you can get a smaller bead onto your band. So now that that makes sense, that's what you do. But for today I'm just going to try to use a larger bead just to see how it looks. Once you have done that, you can put that to the side, and then we can begin with the body or the face of Frankenstein. So take 2 black bands and place them over here, and make sure your loom is set up in the straight configuration. And then 2 other black bands, and then 2 more going down each row. So yours should look like this so far. And now we're going to switch to the green bands. So you're going to take 2 green bands, place it here, and another 2 and place it there, and then another 2 and place it here. And then the next row is where the eyes will go. So you're going to place the bead with the eye, or the band with the eye, on there, and then a white band above it. And then again, the eye, and a single white band above it. And then you can place a green band in the middle as well. And then the next row is going to be 3 green again, 3 sets on each row. And now we are switching to our black bands, 2 here, and here, and 2 here. And then we're going to end it with 2 green on each row again. Now we're going to add the layer that goes over it because we have to make an extension so that it's wide. So we're going to grab our black bands, and you're going to take two, and you're going to place it, push all these bands down, the ones that are on the outside, place two black and place it here, and another two black and place it here. Switch to your green, again your green, two more green, and two more green right there. And you're going to do the same on this side. You're going to place two black here, and then another two black, so we're overlapping it. Then switch to your green, and it's green the rest of the way down. And now we're going to add the cap bands or the holding bands. And you're going to take two green bands at a time. Actually, I'm sorry, before we do that, we're going to add the bolts because this is where the bolts go now. So to make the bolts, if you don't have these silver bands like I do, you can use gray or any other metallic, and you're going to take a single and wrap it around your hook 4 times, like that. And if you want that to be thicker so the bolts stick out, you can use 2 wrapped around your hook 4 times. And then after you've done that, you're going to grab 3 bands, and you're going to transfer that onto those 3 bands. And the reason for 3 is because the the bubble bands that I'm using are a lot thicker, so they stick out more. And that would be one of your bolts for Frankenstein. So I'm going to be using these bands though, and if you do have these bands, I don't wrap them around 4, I wrap it around only 3 times, because I'm afraid that they're going to break. And then I take 2 more, and I gently transfer the band that's wrapped around 3 times, and I place it on my hook. And this is going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So wait, 1, 2, 3. It's going to go underneath the eye. So it's where this peg is, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the bands that are underneath the eye. And you're going to place it right here. I'm going to do the same thing again. And then it goes on this side. And just pull the little cap band out so it sticks out more. And now we can place the holding bands. So you're going to place 2 green bands, actually 2 black because the top is black, 2 black on these 2. And then you're going to grab another 2 black bands and place it on these 2. 2 green on these 2. 2 green on here. And 2 green on here. And then you're going to do the same thing here, 2 green on here. And then we're going to loop this row first and place it to the side of our loom and do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to reach in underneath these 2 bands, and you're going to be grabbing the first set of 2 green bands, not the bottom. So reach underneath here and grab those 2 first top 2 green bands and loop it forward. And then you're going to reach in and you're pushing back these bands and grabbing the first 2 green bands and looping that forward. Same here, push back, grab the 2 green, loop forward, reach in here. Be careful with the bolts if you're using the same bands as I am. Push those back. You are pushing the bands that are the bolts back, and then grabbing the 2 green and looping that forward. Reach in here, grab the 2 black, loop forward, reach here, and loop forward. Once you have finished looping all of these, you are then going to place your thumb on this peg just so that the bands don't pop off, and you're going to remove this layer right here. So you're going to reach in with your finger, and with the thumb holding this one, you're going to pop this off and place it to the side. And you know you did it correctly because it should look like this, where the 2 pegs are inside these 2 bands. This one is incorrect, so I'm going to fix it. Again, grab the bolt, pop it off, and place it to the side. And the same on this one, pop this off, place it to the side. And you're not removing these bands right here at the bottom, only this one. And then pop this off and place it to the side. So this is what yours should look like right now, and make sure that it looks like that. It should have that circle shape or oval shape around those 2 pegs, and then it should look like kind of like a triangle on the bottom. Now we're going to do the same thing on this part. You're going to grab 2 green bands, place it on these 2, 2 green, place it on these, 2 green on here, another 2 on these 2, and then the final 2 are black bands, so 2 black here and 2 black here. Again, same thing. You're going to reach in underneath these 2 bands, and you're going to loop the top 2 bands forward. So reach in, grab the top 2 only, and you're going to loop forward. Then reach in here, grab the top 2 green, or just the green bands, and loop forward. Reach here, 2 green bands, loop forward. Push back all the bands, including the bolt, and grab the 2 green, loop forward. You're grabbing 2 black bands, and then again 2 black bands. And you should have a remaining row on the bottom. I must have grabbed something wrong there. Okay, once you have looped this whole row, I just had to fix mine because I grabbed the wrong band. But you're going to make sure that you still have 2 bands on the bottom going all the way down. There should still be 2 bands. And then once you have done that, you're going to do the same thing, just holding your hands on your thumb on this peg so that it just doesn't pop off. Take your finger and pop off this layer, place it to the side. So this one and this one are now on the outside. I'm doing where the bolt is. And it should look like that, so don't get scared. It should look like that. And then this one right here. And then the final one right here. You are not removing this piece right here at all. So now we can begin to loop. You're going to reach in the bottom, and the band that looks like a triangle, you're going to take this band, bring it up, and lay it right here in the middle. So it's going to be this. It was like this, and you're bringing it up and laying it inside. Now you're grabbing these 2 bands, and you're looping it forward. And then you're going to do the same on this one. You're going to reach in, grab these two, bring it up and in the middle. Then grab these two bands and loop it forward. And push those bands down because they're chunky. And then reach in here and push all these bands back and grab just the bottom two and loop that forward. And just be careful, see how mine is coming apart. And then you just looped it forward. So you should have looped all those forward, and now we're going to enter this peg, and you're going to reach in and push every green band back and grab the two black bands and loop forward. Reach in here and grab the two black and loop forward. And here, two black, loop forward. Reach here, you're grabbing two green and looping forward. And every time you enter a peg, you're just going to always make sure you push all the bands back, and then you can see the two bands that are on the bottom. So these are this one and this one. Again, these two. These are the two white bands. Two green. The two eye bands. So we make sure that you have a teardrop shape. Reach in here, grabbing two green, looping forward, two green, loop forward, another two green, loop forward, and then finally the end, these two black bands, push back every band, and then grab the two black, and again over here, pushing these two bands here back and grabbing these two. Once you get to the top, grab these two that are inside and bring it to the middle, and the same here. Bring these two to the middle, and now you're going to grab two black bands. I like to cap them off or tie them off with two in case one breaks. Take your hook and go through all those bands, grab two, pull it through, place them both onto your hook, grab one, place it over, and there is your slip knot. And then you can take it off. This is what yours should look like off of the loom, and I'm just going to fix the bolts by placing my hook through those cap bands, straighten them out. Same on this one. And so this is what this one looks like with the larger eyes. This is with the E bead, 6-0. This is a little bit bigger than the E bead, and this is the larger pony. I don't know, I think I like this size. It really doesn't matter, I like this one too. And then what we're going to do is we're going to show you, if you are making a purse, then what you're going to do is you're going to grab a threading tool, a piece of dental floss, and your loom, and you're going to grab black bands, and you're going to take single black bands and go down, let me see how many times I went down over here, I think 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to go down 7 times using a single band. And then at the end, you're going to cap that only 2 times. So you just wrap the single band around 2 times, then reach in, bring the bottom band, and just loop forward. This is just a single chain. And you're going to need, for the purse, you're going to need an S-clip for this project. So grab an S-clip, and you're going to S-clip this piece afterwards. So what you're going to do is I place the loops onto my finger, and I'm going to take a piece of dental floss and put the dental floss through the loops, the ones that are open, and then I'm going to connect the tips of the dental floss, and then this is where the pony beads come, and you should have 9, and one by one I just thread the pony beads right on to that piece of dental floss, and it just makes it a lot easier, for me at least, this way. And then what you do is grab the 2 loops in the bottom, that way the beads don't come off, and just start pushing or pulling the pony beads down and onto those bands. And then yours should look like this. Then this is where the S clip comes in handy, or the C clip, and you're going to secure that end. I remove this floss, and I'm going to take the S clip and secure that right here. So this is you should have something like this, and see now mine is coming off because I didn't secure that end. This is the one with the 2 loops. So it should look like that. And then once you have done that, you're going to take your Frankenstein and first hide these 2 slip knots so that they don't get in your way. Go through the back, grab those 2 black bands and pull it through, and hide it in the back. Grab your hook, and you're going to slide your hook through all the top bands. So these 2 black, these 2, and it actually should glide right through like that. So you should be able to go through all those bands, and then you're going to grab this loop, the one that we tied around only 2 times, and you're going to pull it through, and it should pull through easily like this. And then you should have some resistance because of the bead. That's fine. Take your your S clip, and S clip that. And once you know that it's fully secure, then you're going to slide it inside the middle. And once that is hidden, you can adjust the beads, and then there is your little Frankenstein purse. Now instead, if you decided that you want this to become a bracelet instead, you can, I'll take this off so it doesn't look wonky. You're just going to grab and now it got stuck in here. I want yours to be a bracelet. What I did was I added the links on the back, and some of you are probably thinking, well, I'm just going to add it from the bolts. You could do that if you're using strong bands and you know that it's going to withhold the pulling. I don't trust these bands, and I want the bolts to stand out anyway. And so what I did is instead I went on the back and I grabbed the 2 here and 2 here. So it's got about 4 bands here. And what I did was I grabbed 2 bands at a time, and it's like a single chain except using double. And I just continue to make a link. And it depends on the size of the wrist. For my daughter, I used, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 and 9 on each side. If this is for an older person, you can use 11 and 11 on each side. And you just continue to add double bands. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm just going to do 7 for now just so it's an example. And then once you have that, then you would grab the S clip and secure that, and you want both sides to have the even amount. So if you have 7 here, you're going to do 7 on this side, and then you do the same thing. I did it behind the bolt, and I grabbed all these bands right here, and then I grabbed 2 bands and threaded that through, and I would do another set of 7, and then you would just connect the bands together with that S-clip. And so you have a choice to turn it into a bracelet or a purse. One, two, three, four, five, 6, and then the 7th. And then you just grab this and connect it with the S-clip. And then there you have a cute little bracelet for a boy. And or you can have, if your daughter is into Frankenstein or a girl, then you can have the purse or the bracelet. And thank you very much for watching. And stay tuned because I also have more of the Halloween series coming. I have the pumpkin, the skeleton purse, and the candy corn purse. And so thank you very much for watching.